Hey, good evening, everybody. Dave here at Scale Models Midwest. Welcome back to the workbench. As you can see from the thumbnail, I am now working on Moebius's 1964 Chevy II Nova Resto Mod. This is a really cool kit, and honestly, I only bought the kit for those ladder bars. If you remember, I used those ladder bars for the Sudden Death Mustang. But as I am putting the big scale Corvette aside for a bit till I can find or make some side pipes, carburetor, and some tires and rims for it, I figured I'd build a couple more kits that were on my list. This is one of them. So for this one, I wanted to kind of create a backstory for it just to see where it went with me. Initially, I wanted to build it kind of like one of those mild street machines. It reminded me of the Novette that was built back in the 80s and was shown in Carcraft and Hot Rod magazines, but I couldn't find like an 84 or 85 Corvette suspension for it. And then ultimately I said, you know what, I'm gonna change it up a bit. Before I started painting it, I thought, what color? I kept thinking maybe be one of those kind of like lurking in the shadows kind of car where you don't really know what is under the hood or how fast it is until it finally runs against someone. So that's what I did with this one. I'm imagining there's this kid, either 17, 18, or even out of high school, working at the local Amoco gas station nights and weekends, working in their auto shop back when they had repair centers. And either through a family member, like a grandma or grandpa, he gets this car, or he sees it in the local auto trader for like $1,500. Just needs a little work. It's got a tired 6-cylinder or 4-cylinder or 8-cylinder, whatever's in it. Pulls it out. Has a 327, came out of a wrecked Corvette. Fixes it up, puts it in here, starts to run it, puts a nice paint job on it, goes out, shows it, street races it. One night, gets a little too squirrely on his 1 to 2 shift and punts it into a tree. So that's why you see the front end as it is. He takes off the entire front clip, including the inside panels, which kind of replicated here in gray, primer. He goes, I don't want to give up on this car. I don't have a lot of money. So he gets fenders, inner panels, and then he gets a cowl induction hood, which he just sands and spray paints flat black. So the whole front end is going to be gray, which I replicated using Tamiya AS26 light ghost gray. I didn't have any money to repaint the car blue, which in this case the blue is a TS51 racing blue. And on the engine, he just kind of hops it up. It's not a clean engine. It's a 327 from a Corvette, and he's just going to street race it some more, but that's where he's left and just has this. He'll still cruise the streets. It's just not as pretty as it was back in, you know, the day when it was racing, and someday he'll fix it up. But that's the backstory behind this and why I decided to go this route by having mismatched colored fenders, as you can see there. I figured the trim the same way. I still have to kind of burnish this down a bit, but that's bare metal trim. I did a Molotow pen for the trim around the windows. Again, flat black hood. Did a little bit of wash for the grille. And as you can see, I've got everything else in the background. Engine, the ancillaries, the headers, subframe, and all the other parts off here to the side. The suspension I've already started to put together. The tires and rims are pretty sharp. I did just a wash, and I'd recommend when you put these on, Moebius has a really cool mounting for these. They have a lot of plastic around the inside of it, so it fits inside the tire just right. But don't put it in from the back first. Just put it in from the front first, because that way you don't end up with, well, somewhere around here, I have one kind of, you can see really close, or maybe at an angle, little marks. And I think I can clean that up pretty easy. But, you know, just put it on like this, press down, and then just fit it into place. I got the 4 tires like that. Dashboard I've got set up for the decals. The interior, I've got the panels, a little bit of a Molotow pen. I've got the windows ready to put in. So I figure when I get done with dinner tonight, I'll come back down and work on this some more. But otherwise, I just wanted to kind of show you what I had. It's just a basic black interior, 4-speed, cowl induction, a little bit private gray. And, you know, I just think it's going to be a nice little cruising machine. This is a lot of what I saw back in the mid-'80s, where, you know, we all just didn't have a lot of money. And, yeah, I was, myself, stuck with a 73 Duster. And then I managed to buy a used Trans Am. So ultimately, that's what I've got going with this one. I'll probably have this one put together by the end of the week. I think when I get done with dinner, I'll come downstairs, do some more work on it, see where it takes me. I like how it looks so far. This Moebius kit is really cool. If you are looking at possibly building this kit, again, this is what it looks like. I think you can still get that at, maybe you can get that at Hobby Nut. You can get that at Model Roundup. Again, all I did initially was I bought this kit just for those ladder bars for sudden death. But then the rest of the kit just looks so sharp, and I've never built this early of a Nova or Chevy II before. But then when you open up the stuff, it's so cool. Kind of pull the camera back so you can see this. It is pretty well set up, you know. Moebius really puts things together well. Nice laid out. And if you can see here, paint colors. The only thing I came close to was kind of like Lagoon Aqua, but maybe this kid's grandparents repainted the car sometime in the 70s to something that grandma liked. And then, of course, you can see here pictures of what the completed interior, engine bay, chassis, the engine, and the rest of the car looks like. Again, I think it's a pretty sharp ride. You see it in your local hobby shop, definitely pick it up. The more I looked at this kit, the more I liked it. I think this kit would look good with the 66 Chevy Nova Pro Street deal behind it. And if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I'd like to think that Scott Sullivan built this car with a Pro Stock chassis underneath it as well. So that was from Hot Rod and Carcraft back in the 80s, Popular Hot Rod. And I'd like to say he built one of these with a Pro Street chassis, but if not, you know, not stopping anybody else from doing it. There's plenty of those AMT 66 Chevy Novas out there with the Pro Street. Definitely pick it up, kit bash it, and build it to your like. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and hope you're having a great weekend. Keep just building the cool kits. We'll see you in the next video.